What's good, YouTube? I am here with our back-to-back undefeated in Swiss, twice Zodiac, top 4, top 8, Alex Buell. And what did you just do today?
I just top 16 YCS Providence.
And what deck did you use?
I played Control Kozmo because Fire King sucks.
Alright, let's get into it.
Alright, well first and foremost we got the 3 Destroyer. It's okay. I might cut it to 2. I don't know. Triple Slip Rider. 3 Sword Troopers. I was playing 2 for the longest time, but the amount of advantage you can generate by having the 3rd and being able to make F-Zero for Dark Planet is just really, really solid. 3 Tin Can, back at it again. And we have 2 Kozmo Dark Lady. This card is insane. I've contemplated bumping it up to 3, but at 2 it does the job well enough. 2 Farm Girl, because going for game is cool. Then you have Drake, Wicked Witch, and Forerunner and Walker. Walker is low-key amazing just because of the amount of situations that it becomes relevant. Like if I have a Walker and like a tin can on board, they can't like reliably get rid of the tin can. It just sets up for a whole lot of advantage the following turn. Moving on to the spells, we have Triple Kozmo down, Double Allure of Darkness because it's broken in this deck, Double E-Teled because this is Konami's hit to the deck. I play 1 for 1. It sort of goes with my next card, the Monster Stormforth. I consider these cards pseudo-pilots in the sense that they require a monster to be a pilot, but essentially they're able to get ships out of your hand and extend your game state. Stormforth never really came up, but I really liked it in theory. Being able to, in the mirror match, just sack a Destroyer for a Dark Lady, it's really hard for them to come back from that. And then you have the 1 Upstart because there's no longer a 3! Moving on to the traps, we have Triple Solemn Strike. Only 2 Call the Haunted. Now, to explain this one, I thought about it a lot and talked about it with CJ Cross, shout out to him. Call of the Haunted is an extremely good card in this deck, without a doubt whatsoever, but it extends a winning position, it does not get you out of a losing position, and in my opening hand, where the early game is incredibly important, I want to have as many cards that I will immediately be able to get value out of. And Call, at 2, I saw it just the amount I wanted to, and every time it worked out fine. I'm probably not going back to 3. We have the 2 Mojo. It sort of goes with the philosophy behind Call the Haunted. It's an extremely insane card. It's basically Wavering Eyes in the mirror match, but again, it's only as good as the monster I have on board. And I like cards that are on their own solid enough. I mean, I want to see it, I just don't want to see it too often. Then rounding it out, we have Bottomless, Solemn Warning, and Vanity's Emptiness. Vanity's Emptiness is insane, incredibly underrated, and it won me a handful of games this weekend. Would you like the side or the extra?
Oh, let's go to extra.
All right. So we got the 1 F-Zero. It's good for getting rid of problems like Dark Planet and the like. 2 Break Sword. I never really made the second, but I liked having it. Being able to loop Sword Trooper, Break Sword, and pop all that stuff is really, really good. And even on its own, this card is just amazing. I don't really need to explain it. Leviair, Nightmare Shark for game. Moving on to the rank 5s, we have Durendal, Pleiades, Nova, Volcasaurus, Shark Fortress. I put this card in literally 5 minutes before the deck list was due. I wanted to come up, it didn't, but it's amazing in theory. Zen Mayo for Klee. I played no Klee this weekend, so it didn't really come up. Then we have Infinity, Gaia Dragon, number 23, and Harbinger. Harbinger is insane, particularly with Emptiness, because if you establish that, there's pretty much no coming back to your opponent. They need to have way too much. Moving on to the side deck then. We have the 1 Dark Eclipser. The Eclipser is an extremely good card, but I don't feel it's inherently good against every deck in the metagame right now, but it has lots of value in the mirror match and against PK Fire and against Klee, so I figured it was good enough to side. 2 Max C. I understand it's kind of like an unspoken law to play 3 in the main deck right now, but I feel, like I said with this deck, getting out of the early game is incredibly important, and if I'm going first and I have Max C in my hand, sure, it's going to do me a lot of stuff in my opponent's turn, but like going first, if I need to set up, it's not going to help me. I saw it just enough at 2. I'm probably going to bump it up to 3 just because I want to see it a lot, but it's not something I would main. 1 Raigeki because it's pretty good. 1 Kaiser Coliseum. This card is absolutely insane in this deck. It's something I wanted to bump up to 2, but I couldn't find the space and it sort of conflicts with some of my other side deck choices. But basically, if you flip this against Monarchs, Pendulums, and yeah, Monarch and Pendulums, you pretty much win unless they have the out. 2 System Down because it's still insanely good in the mirror match. Double Twin Twisters, it's pretty good. Then we have 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance, 1 Fairy Wind. Fairy Wind is a card I like particularly in this deck because of the ability to pop Pendulum Scales under Sky Iris, which we've seen a few people play with Magicians sneaking into the top cut a lot this event. But additionally, if I have a pile on board, I can destroy my own Kozmo town and get a Dark Destroyer, for example, and then go off on their turn. And finally, we have 3 Mask of Restrict because I absolutely hate Monarchs.
Fair. All right. Any notable rounds during the tournament?
Round 10, I won game 1, so he had me go first, and I opened up Tin Can. I was playing as Monarchs. I opened up Tin Can, Anti-Spell Fragrance, Solemn Strike, Mask of Restrict, and Dark Destroyer. Most of the other games are just a blur, honestly, not really eventful.
And any shoutouts?
Oh yeah, for sure. My Team Ginlock, that's G-I-N, Trenton Stroud, Nick Freed, Bobby Potter, who is currently in top 8. Let's see if he gets in there. Robert Martin for letting me borrow all these shiny cards. CJ Cross, for sure, for helping me out with making the deck what it is. Spencer Colwell for driving me to the event. It's pretty important. Dara Chia for helping me win the VIP qualifier, which got me a 2-round bye, which was broken. And yeah, just anyone that really supported me, even in the tournaments, like the Zodiac tournaments or here today.
All right, thanks, man.
No problem.